My name is Stancil McNair, and I'm the newly elected president of AFSCME Local 44. And I was elected on August the 23rd, 2025.
Yeah, and technically this is the yearly update to the issues in Baltimore's Department of Public Works, a year and 1 month after Ronald Silver's passing due to a heat stroke on the job, and 10 months after Timothy Cartwell was crushed by his garbage truck.
Right.
So this is sort of the direct result of those things, and we're in the aftermath of those events. Tell us about, since we talked the last time, where things have kind of gone since then.
Well, it been actually a mixture of things that resulted in me being the president. First and foremost, I want to just thank all the people that paid his way that had been a part of the union. All the people that we went up against in this election, I want to thank them too, because a lot of those people have been in this for a long time. And like with most people, they expect it to continue. But once again, the members of the union, which people would know, let their voice be heard, and they wanted different changes. So they came out and voted to make those changes. And it wasn't a result of emotion. It was people actually like taking the time to care about themselves and say, no, this matters. I don't like the representation. I just want to move forward. I want some change. It's not about division. It's about people, want the right people in the place to make sure they're okay. So I want to definitely thank them gentlemen and for just being there for the union before I even decided to run this race. They did do some things that some people could not do. So I cannot discredit them in no type of way. But moving forward, it's really about the members. The members spoke. They acknowledged me through my voice. Some acknowledged me through other people, letting them know about me. And of course, a lot of it was done, but mostly from my team, because they introduced me to people in their departments. Because when I started this, I only knew about solid waste, so it's been a journey for me. So imagine in a week and a half, because that's just how it happened. It was a week and a half. Teresa Blow, who was my executive board member, decided to give me a call and say, we want you to be the president. And it was a week and a half before the race. So I never had no intention of running for president. I was humbled enough to accept the fact that people wanted me to run for president. And it surprised me, because I'm like, I ain't think nobody wanted me to run for president. So I'm forever gonna be humble for her, because she's the one that really opened the door for me to make this decision. And on top of that, Marvin Tate, those two right there, they sat back and they thought about me and seen what I was doing. They know my worth, they know what I'm going to do. But the most ultimate thing I'm just so humble about is that the members came out and voted. We had people come out and vote that never wanted to vote. We actually gave them a reason to come vote. That was something special that people just don't understand. I don't think people understand the seriousness of this, because now we're a conversation piece at people's dinner table. that we normally wasn't. We having it's people having conversations with us about these situations in normal days. Like don't have nothing to do with DPW or AFSCME, but they concerned now because they see the changes. So it's like a mixture of things that you can just add up and just so many people in the right places now that are making this a more easy transition, you know?
Yeah, and I think that is a direct testament to, you know, like the results I think were like 125 to 103.
Yes.
And that's incredible for you to get into the race the week before and to win that way. But also I think it also just signifies how much people want to change.
Right.
You know,
right.
I think if someone can join the race and really stand on morals and principles and really look out for those who are working for the DPW and they get elected, then that means that, you know, as good of a job as the previous administration did, we're looking for some new, fresh ideas. And I think they believed in you to give that.
Right, and see, I believe with anybody, people are entitled to mistakes. So I don't think none of the previous people before us are actually bad people. I think they just got in a position, they got too comfortable. They lost their way. Because everybody comes to this passion. I believe every person that joins the union, regardless of where they go at in life, they started with a passion. And that's my issue with people. Because I'm coming this with a passion. But the one thing that I can guarantee you is that I'm not going to change for nobody, by no means. The one thing I'm going to change is my intellect, because there's things I don't know about this, but I'm going to have to learn. That's what people don't understand. I don't think it's going to be easy. I know it's going to be numerous challenges, and it's things that now I have to learn being the new president, and I have to be responsible about. It's kind of like a way of living now, because I'm representing my people, and where I come from, there's not a lot of us in this position that's, and I'm not even going to say that. There's people in position, but a lot of them they're not using their position to be very outspoken. So I can't say people they've been establishing themselves in numerous ways, but I don't feel as though they're using their position properly, because at the end of the day, we still have a voice. And as long as you use your position, the whole purpose to get these positions is for your voice. And with me, I got elected because people believe in my voice. They believe I would speak on issues that everybody else would be afraid to speak on. So once again, I give all credit to God and those people that came out and vote, my team. They definitely, those three aspects of my life is what got me here. Like, and then just the outpour from the community just so wonderful. It's just wonderful. So it's just been a collective of things that I believe God put me in this position to be prepared for, and He put the right people around me, and I just want people just acknowledge that I didn't do nothing special. People really came out and voted and wanted change. They really came out and voted and wanted change, and it started in the room. And it's okay, I get a little deep with that, bro. Like, yeah. I always want to see how deep this is, because if people knew the story of this and how it just developed to now. It first started with me and one of my closest friends, Jerome Dunn. Darrell Dunn, that's a real good friend of mine, excuse me. And when I tell you it's my bro, both of us were sitting in the landfill on light duty. Hurt, still being treated in an unprofessional way, the way as though we always stood like, no, you're not gonna treat us like this. So they kind of use like the landfill as like a punishment. And when I say this was 2021, we sat and talked about what I'm doing here today. That was the very first person I used to have these conversations with. So me and him sat in the landfill for 2021 to like almost 2023, 2 years. So we every day sat at the table and talked about everything like this. And then I started speaking out on different issues more openly. And it just showed me that the more I speak on these things, the more people open their eyes and start being more engaging and start being more encouraged and not fearful of the backlash, because they know it's about the people. So once you start caring about the people, you're not worrying about the backlash, regardless of the circumstances over who you face, the obstacles, no matter what. it's gonna always be some type of backlash. But if your heart pure and you about the people and not yourself, you're gonna thrive through anything. It's just simple challenges. So I went through those challenges by speaking out. A lot of people didn't feel though it was cool for me to speak out. A lot of people didn't feel like it was cool for me to speak to the Inspector General or Mr. Khalil or Mr. Toya Curtis. So it's just been a process of the depths I can go into where I'm at now because there's so many numerous people. And to like now to have like now I wanna name my team. To have my vice president, who is very intellectual. His name is Mr. Ricardo Ward. Very intelligent man on so many levels. And he know his policies like the back of his hand. So that's like my right hand right there. So he give me even more insurance. Then I have my executive board, which is Teresa Blow, Crystal Boswell, and Mitchell Dean. And when I say having this executive board together and having 3 different personalities is like a perfect match because there's so many different ideas being bounced off each other. And like with Teresa Blow, that's she the female version of me. She's aggressive, but she's passive. So she know how to get aggressive enough to get people to understand her, but not enough to disrespect them. Just enough to stand her ground, let her know I can stand in any room alone, and we make people respect me. So she's like, when I say that's my big sis, like it's more so like I look at her like a sister instead of like somebody from my executive board because she's so caring. And then you have Miss Crystal Boswell, another intelligent person. Like I'm talking about beyond intelligent. Like when I tell you, she know her stuff, and that's one reason I pick her. And then she has the same attitude. She's aggressive, but she's passive aggressive, and she's a great listener. You know, so that's a plus right there. Anybody that's a great listener, just sit back and just observe. That's the person you always want on your team. You know, and just sit back and observe the information. Then I got Mitchell Dean, and this is a guy like once again, you got a lot of people that are intelligent, and he one of them that get a chance to show how intelligent you are. He's like good with numbers, like everybody else, but he's on a different level with it. Like he plays with it and he figured things out like in his head. So like that's a perfect addition. And then I have my recording secretary. Her name is Dara. Excuse me, Dara, because I forgot your last name. So I'm sorry. I apologize. So she's very down home and she's very open and she's very opinionated herself. Like it's like nobody in my team don't have a lesser characteristic than the next person. It's like everybody match up even. Then I have my treasury, and that is my secretary of treasury, excuse me, and that is Tamika Pettis, and she's another person that's very opinionated, and I believe she would be very strong in being our treasurer because she's very protective. Like I saw, is another person that's passive aggressive. So it's like when you mix all these people up and you put them on a team together, now you're dealing with some people that you know for a fact that's gonna watch your back. They like people always say, you look for people that understand the assignment. They help writing the assignment. That's what we doing together because I tell people I'm not in this about no title. And when I mean that, I step into the people in this room with those people respectfully as my equals, regardless of a title, because we're adults. To the public, I'm the president, but I don't want to overshadow nobody. But I'm gonna handle my responsibility like a president. But I always want to remain myself. Like that's because the president is nothing but a title, but a title is nothing without your integrity. And a lot of people don't have integrity. A lot of people try to throw their titles around, which I choose not to do. That's why I'm not really focused on it. And like some people might get mad when I walk around and tell people I'm the president, but look, that's a celebration for me inside me because how many other people can say they're the president? Like it's a good feeling to me. So I hope nobody don't take this in a harsh way or think I'm gloating because that's not something I don't do. And anybody personally know me, I tell you I don't do that. So sometimes you gotta recognize the passion in somebody and understand them before you be critical.
Yeah. And I actually like how you use passive aggressive in that form, because
Yeah.
a lot of people would think, passive aggressive is like a negative term, but you're using it in a way of like they're passive in the fact that they're not disrespectful, but they're aggressive because they're aggressive in fixing the things that need to be fixed.
Right.
Like that,
Right.
it's you're reappropriating the term for your
Right.
administration, which I love, because I think this entire administration, this new regime change, is about changing the ideas. It's about changing the things that people are so used to, the negativity they're used to, the bad conditions they're used to, the disrespect they're used to. But you guys came in and said, we want to switch all of that up, and we want to change all of that for the better, which I applaud you for that, and your team. Shout out to the Dream Team. I think
Yeah, Dream Team. Yeah, see, I really want to highlight them because people don't ask enough about them. People always ask stuff about me. So I'm trying to introduce them to the city eventually, like, so people in just ask me don't know who they are. People in the community know who they are because this really takes a community effort. People don't understand it because at the end of the day, respectfully, AFSCME is just a civil, is a union. But at the end of the day, most of the people that work for Baltimore City lives in these communities. So it's more so one of them things where as though it's like, it's a community thing. We gotta take care of each other because guess who take care of the people? The workers. So why the community don't be involved? Because people always say, when the community don't need to be involved, why not? And we service the community. That's the part I don't understand, and that's the part that we missing because nobody don't want to be transparent to the community. That's why they don't want the community involved. But with me, I'm very open to anybody from the community want to know things. I don't want to hide that. I want to be more transparent because there's a lot of people in the community, they got family works on these jobs. And people just don't understand. Like, imagine in a week and a half, you going to different departments and you hearing stories. And I want people to understand is when you hear these stories, most of these stories is coming from females that been in conditions and put in situations that they couldn't get out of because they was fearing retaliation. So this one and I'm trying not to speak on this as less as possible because it's not about the past administration no more, and no more at all. So it's no need to keep on bringing them up forward and anything. But to imagine that people that sworn in, they vow to make sure people are okay, and know people at the same time, that's just not cool. And when I say when I'm speaking these words, people don't understand I'm not speaking for myself. I done heard stories that will blow a lot of people's mind and will have people in their feelings, but that's not my place to put these stories out here. So just imagine you talk to a female and she say that she been sexually harassed for over 2 years, and if she say something, they cut her overtime, or they cut her time, or they make her work on a truck by herself. I'm saying this is the type of stuff I heard, and like, this is not a lie. So it's like, think about it logically. We have people that was in a position before me that had the opportunity to correct those things, but what they chose to do is to ignore it. And that's why I don't want to really keep bringing the past administration in, because everything comes to the light eventually. Yeah. And some of these stories they really don't want to come out, and so that's why. That's another reason I want to step forward. It gave me more motivation to step forward because I'm looking at it like that could have been my sister, that could have been my cousin, anything. But not even just the females. The men go through the same treatment, so it's not a sexist thing just to highlight females and say then no, the men go through a lot too. They're like, people of Baltimore City don't understand that, and it's a cultural thing that need to be broken across the board, and it's starting to be broken. But like, the more people involved and aware, then the more it will stop. And this brings me back to what I keep saying about, oh man, I keep elaborating on this numerous times. We got people in political positions They knew about these conditions for years. And it's sad that it took 2 people to die for people to really want to pinpoint this. It's sad that everybody wants to start recognizing when Ms. Isabel Cummings start producing information on the facts. And then turn around and try to make her like she the enemy. That's the sad part. So it's like, where I'm at in this position and things I done fought through, anybody that's gonna bring light to this is an enemy. And in order not to make sure that person not in it, it need to be transparency. That's what people don't understand. It need to be some transparency, because if there's no transparency, then you need room for clarity. And once people look for clarity, then they start assuming. Then now, so you got a bunch of people running around with stories just assuming based off of the little bit of stuff they seen, and they're turning into like a bunch of lies. And then you dealing with answer all these questions. So that's how a lot of these politicians and the mayor and all them get themselves involved with so many questions, because instead of avoiding the issue, why don't you just be transparent, be honest? Because you for the people. We work for the people. We work for the people. So for anybody who don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think the position for you. I'm sorry, like I'm dead serious, and that's not being funny. That's being honest, because the same way I wake up and pull up my pants, they do too. The difference is I stand on what I say, and stand on what I mean. I produce action. I don't hold back, and I'm not gonna walk for fear, because what the purpose is fear when you got God? That's what people don't understand.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen.
They don't understand that.
I do want to ask you about that too, because I think, I do a lot of research, what I do. I've heard some of the testimonies from people who have, I don't want to bring up the past administration, but I want to bring up some of the criticisms that people have had just seeing their work.
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things, like you said, was the transparency of, Local 44 has been kind of infamous for not being very communicative with the general public, not having regular meetings, or not letting people know when the meetings are, or inviting people to these important information sessions where they can have that clarity that you talked about just recently. Right. And I think that's a great thing that you're standing on transparency, because I think that is one of the biggest things that people want to have moving forward is, let me know when there is something important to deal with the union, or let me know if there's an important deadline coming up, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's important, for your administration moving in to now change the narrative. But I want to also mention that, I think there are a lot of tactics that, those who are in power will use against people who come from grassroots like yourself, right? Even the day before the election, I read in an article that there was a tentative contract agreement that that was leaked effectively. And you don't have to say it, but can I give you my opinion on what I think it was? So your opposition who was running, had this email and, all of these things, promises about the contracts and the biggest pay raise ever and all these things. And at the bottom, it was like, vote for me, right? And I think if any other scenario where this happened, people would say that was an intentional leak so that you can get more, support on your side, so that we don't clean house, we don't change, we don't have to give up our seats and give it up to people who really want to change the system. We want to keep our positions of power. That's what it appears to me, right? Well, I do want to get your opinion on that, because you faced that yourself, especially because your opposition got to use certain resources in order to push these things out, which technically you shouldn't be using. But if he did use it, then you should also have access to those resources as well, right? So tell me about sort of that, like realizing that happened, and what did you think about it, and how did you handle it after that?
First and foremost, when I seen that it happened, what I did they didn't expect, I did the proper procedures, and I filed a protest. But see, the one thing I didn't know, because by me just being new to this, there's certain powers I don't have before me, so I don't know how certain things go. So I'm just on my page on my phone, searching up things that I'm supposed to do, Quebec, things like that, because I don't know, nobody not gonna give me the information. So when I did that, they never responded. So the day of the election, and I'm gonna be frank with it, because some people need to know, Like I'm completely transparent. That's all I got with me. I'm not gonna lie for nobody. I'm not gonna cover nothing up. I'm gonna be honest as possible because it's lies we playing with that people just don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make them understand because you're not gonna sit and look at my face and play with my people. That ain't gonna happen. I keep telling people from day one, I'm a revolutionary, so I just got a title as a president. And you just put me in a position where I'm going to talk my talk regardless of how somebody feels. So it was first and foremost, the whole thing about the election was distasteful. Especially like me bringing my mother, my 8-year-old son, Brittany Ward, my vice president, winning. Each one of my members put money into us, making sure that the people came out, was voting and stuff, had something to drink, eat, whatever. And I'm talking about whatever it was. I'm talking about from gourmet donuts to my mother making people sandwiches, the chips, cookies, the kids having fun. And so our opposition, they ran against us. Their whole demeanor and everything was like, we in the streets, like we some gangsters. Even down to the point I actually had people that was rocking with them be disrespectful, while we walk around just trying to be humble and cool. So everything about the election was so wild that if I would have reacted in a certain type of way, it could have made it turn messy, which they was trying to do. But I kept it solid because I already know the tricks, and I keep explaining to people. I come from a past that a lot of them men never walked down the path I've been through in life, the things I survived. So I know them type of tactics is how to get somebody a character. So you gotta come a little bit more stronger than that and be a little bit more wise and intelligent. Because for one, I'm a father and a grandfather. I got children. I just can't be tricked like that into losing life. That's like losing my life. Arguing with somebody, get into a fight, and then I do something to you, you do something to me. Nah, it's not worth it. I'm way too small than that. So at that moment when I was disrespected, because I don't really want to go too much into the details of how it was said, because certain things, the aspect of how it was said don't need to be added, because I don't want certain people to be involved, like what that person say, who that person is. So just know that when the man disrespected me, I calmly acknowledged him and said, and it was just simply me giving him my people with me and my team on it, tell him check us out. I didn't say vote for me. I said check us out. And his exact words was, who the F is you? I'm voting for my mom, man, Trevor. Then he like walked over a little bit and tried to make a little joke like, where these punk A's come from, you feel me? So I'm looking at him like, oh yeah, he one of them goofies. Like, I ain't gonna say, just go ahead, bro, you right. Like, that's how I look at it, like, you goofy, you get what I'm saying? Cause like real men, I be around don't carry that stuff like that. They don't conduct that stuff like that. We humble, and like even the ones that got terrible past, they humble. I keep telling people, like, outside this, I be around humble men, men that's doing something with their lives, and we not in the streets, we doing productive things. So for somebody to carry that stuff like that, that's the person I give them that space, because you got the right to act where you are at. But the part that bothered me is, because what people, I'm bringing the family feel back into this. That's why I want my mother there. Like, that's what I do. I do stuff for my family. If people don't know anything else about me, I do a lot of family, so I bangs with my family heavy.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know I do. That's a fact. You feel me? And so, and it's like, to know they acting like that in a certain way, though, you know I brought my mother, my child there. That showing complete humbleness when a man bring his family around. That don't show you bring no type of bull crap. And even down to the point, I offer them stuff, and they frown their face up. They was offer stuff, so it's like, okay, cool. So now that's why I leave it in the past, because if I go into the story, it would sound so immature for me to even be entertained talking about the things they were doing that day. It'd be immature on my behalf, so I'm not even going to give them that much head space to think they're important to be talking about them. That's why I'm past them already. They trying to figure out where they at in the midst of this right now.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I'm done with that. But it was, my sworn-in day was terrible. Cause it's like this whole transition has not been good at all, even up to this day. So it's like I told people in the beginning, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be challenges. I expect these challenges because just imagine somebody was groomed for over 20 years and a person come in a week and a half and put his name in and steal everything. Like it's like he feel like something was stolen from him. So that's why I let the man be himself, because he not conducting himself like what you supposed to be so passionate about.
Yeah, and I do want to, you know, I do think it's a shame as well.
Nigga, I'm really trying to choose my words right.
100%, 100%, and I think, and I respect you for doing that, because I know that, you know, some of the people we discussed already, but also, you know, I can think of many people off the top of my head who, you know, in their victory chose to bash others. And I think the fact that you're taking this humble approach, even after winning, is just a commendable thing. And it really shows the true character of who you are. Right. And it shows that you're in this for the right reasons.
Right.
So I'm glad that you were the one to win, because I don't know if I could say the same about others who would have won.
They probably been saying all type of crazy stuff. I'm like, I'm glad.
You know, exactly. Yeah.
But see, and that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody. The only way I would have came this with division, if it was so much resistance, you showing me that y'all purposely trying to get this man in and not me. Like, it was a little bit of feel to that, and like, there's some things in process right now that are going to determine that or not, but that's not something I was looking for. It's just like, I was put in that place because y'all didn't think I know policy, so I had to show y'all I know policy. And the only reason I had to do certain protests because Trevor tried to do, he did a protest and said to Ms. Isabel Cumming influence us, the people to vote for me. And so I'm trying to see how they gonna figure that out. Like 120 people, so you trying to 120 people went and looked at Ms. Isabel page and said we gonna go vote. Like, come on, think about seriously think about that.
It doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense at all. You got in your feeling because she put my name on one of her posters. Like what? Like. That showed the immaturity. It's like you're not mature. Yeah. You're not mature.
Yeah, and I that is directly connected to what I was saying, you know, about the tactics, right? Mm-hmm. And even going back to the contract, did you ever review that contract that was leaked to the public? Well, as president, mind you, you're president now, and you still haven't gotten to even review the project, which you should have first eyes on, I think.
It's my second week. Well, this is my second week now. Last week was my first official week.
Congratulations, by the way. I didn't get congratulations on camera. Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you what's so sad about this. And like, I know it's gonna be a tough transition, but I didn't think it would be like this, because as of to this day, nothing has been given to me. Nobody ain't told me what I'm supposed to do as a president. I actually, like, on my phone researching what I'm supposed to be doing as a president, and I don't think that's fair to me. Like, they purposely making it hard because it was a transition. I don't care what position you go into, even when I go to a new job, they're gonna have somebody there teaching you stuff. Like, and where I'm lost at, because I don't have an office, where do I go at? So it's like, you can't say that I'm not doing my job because I don't even got no office to report to. So that's what they don't understand. I don't have no office, so what else will come down to Union Hall and just stand there and just, no, I'm not doing that. No, you need to, for one, you gotta respect me, man. I need to know precisely what is my role. I'm not being told what is my role, what I'm supposed to say. I was told a little bit of things. Most stuff I've researched myself. So that's how tough it's been for me. Like, I'm fine with it because I always know God bless a child to have his own. That's what people don't understand. Like, because I never asked for a handout or nothing in my process. Everything I learned, I really learned on my own. Somebody might provide me information, but once I get that information, I learn it and I apply it to myself and show people that what I'm capable of. So I believe they fearful to let me get some of this information because they know what I'm gonna do with it. They know I'm not gonna play with it. I'm just gonna acquire more information and be able to handle myself as a president. And I honestly don't want to throw it out there, but in a way it feels like it's like retaliatory what they doing right now. And the way it feel like that because that man lost the election. Like, so that's why I'm trying to leave it in the past and just put it all in God's hands because I don't want to put no doubt in this in no form. So we got this. Like, people got me in there. It's gonna be a tough road because a lot of people don't agree for me to be the president. I know that people done spoke on it because for some odd reason people think I'm coming into this and cutting them short. For some reason the water department think I'm coming to this and make sure they don't get no more raises. Like, this is not what I'm coming in here for. I come in here to make sure everybody being treated right across the board. I don't care who you work with, because people don't understand. Outside of the water department and solid waste, you have DSG workers. You had DOT workers. You got street light workers. Parks and recs. Custodians for schools. Bus drivers and with their aides. There's so many people that fall under this umbrella. It's so unfair that one person, that people think about just their department. And if you, like I tell people, they'd have walked around with me and heard these different stories from these departments, you will understand why it need to be across the board so people can be treated fair. Because if your labor across the board, I believe, and I don't know nothing because I haven't read nothing, I don't know how it's supposed to go. That's why I'm just how I feel. If your labor across the board, no matter what department you're in, you should be making a sound amount of money. Period. Period. That don't make sense for me to be a labor at Parks and Recs, and that's why I said we need to go speak out to members. Because when I go out there and spoke to them, and that's the type of stuff they do, it might look easy to somebody else, but out there they doing a hard job. The same way with the trash and recycling man. Some people will see them off early, but you don't know how hard they had to work to get off that early. With the water department, when you see them men around the hole and they like, oh, they ain't doing nothing, one of them men is in that hole busting it down. Or they probably was taking turns. Just because you just took that moment to see some men around the hole don't determine they not working. So me as the president, I want to protect that, because so many people say that city worker lazy, city worker this, city worker that. But people don't know the circumstances they go through before they even get into the working field. Like, a lot of them still going through supervision issues from top to bottom. And that's even in schools. I done heard stories about how some principals are terrible with the custodians and stuff, had them doing stuff they don't supposed to do. And if a person has a job spec, they supposed to be respected with their job spec, not with your feelings. And that's all I'm worried about. I'm worried about policies and procedures. So if your feelings get in it because you're not following some policy procedure, that is on you.
Yeah, and we talked about that the last time we spoke. And if you haven't watched that video, please go back and review that original video. We talked about it right after the death of Mr. Silver. Rest in peace, by the way. And there were two things that you brought up now that we talked about before, of how much you were getting paid, how long you were on that job, and how much your payment was even after being there that long.
Right.
In addition to that, it's, I think that people have this perception of how hard it is to be in the DPW, and they have no clue how difficult it is to do these jobs. And you detailed it, going down these long alleyways and having, trash hits on the ground that's, against the policy, and you're picking it up anyway, or going out of your way to clear multiple housing units full of trash when they're only supposed to have a certain amount. Right. And anyway, you guys do that. Anyway, you guys pick it up. Anyway, you guys clean it, and you keep the city looking and feeling how it does. I think a lot of people miss it's not just the trash, right? Like, you're improving the environment, right? When you walk outside and you see that everything looks beautiful and clean and kept, right? Someone had to do that job, and they had to wake up earlier than you did and work twice as hard as you have to in order just to make it look the way that you like that it looks, right?
Well, can I be honest with you, man? Yeah. By me walking around, I used to think that the solid waste department was the only ones to get up early to get to work early. That's not true. It's not true. So you got a lot of people across the city to do different jobs that are so committed to their job. And the only reason I know about the trash job, because I was in it. So I got the wisdom, I dealt with it. So I know what people go through and how they get ignored and don't be appreciated. And sometimes people don't understand that a bottle of water goes a long way with some people. And they do everything for you. But the question is, just take it back to transparency, accountability, and engagement. Because if you go on most of these trash routes, you will see that if you look at online, the city limit is 96 gallons. That's why I want to take the service in, because this is the only job I really can go in depth of how tough it is working. So just imagine you work in an alley, you get to somebody's house, and this is how compassionate a lot of trash men are. Because you're only supposed to get 96 gallons. So when you get this house, a person has 2 green trash cans with 66 gallons. So that's what? Over 132 gallons, right? Then they might have some bags and then 2 small cans. That trash man still retrieves it and keep it moving, but the question is, who is going to come in and force that bylaw? Because that's definitely a bylaw that nobody is allowed more than 96 gallons. And that's what I mean about protection, because over time, if you are retrieving more than what they put down as a bylaw, the bylaws is to protect you, so you won't be getting hurt. Because anything more than 96 gallons in front of somebody's house, the body gonna wear down. So they set that number for a reason. Because they must have did some type of research to say, no, this should be the most they should be getting from each house. So that once again takes me back to me being the president and you dealing with contracts and negotiation. Like when we negotiate in a contract, everything that falls under that contract will be met and respected. For years, they have not been respecting them negotiations, them bargains and stuff. They respect what they want in it. They only respect what they want in it. They don't move a certain way. They respect what they want in it. They don't got down and say all this needs to be respected. No, they respect what they want to, and it's sad. And that's why there's no transparency, because everybody making rules as they go.
Yeah.
Using powers the way they want to. The same reason I started is because supervisors using powers the way they wanted to. That's the same thing I'm going to do right now. This is going to stop. I'm just being honest with people. Like, I don't know how I'm going to stop, but they understand that it's going to stop. And I'm stand behind everything I say out my mouth. Like, it's going to stop eventually. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure something out.
I believe it. I mean, it takes, I think, first having the expertise of being in the position of someone who's in DPW, right? Mm-hmm. I think if you have the wisdom of being out there on the truck and knowing what your brothers and sisters go through, I think that's the first step to knowing the right things to try to, accomplish, and how to even approach making sure that these rules and procedures are followed. I think, we talked at length, like you said, about supervisors who are sort of just interpreting rules and procedures their own way and then coming up with their own rules, and then that reflects on the treatment of the everyday worker, because they're not in positions of power and they can't tell supervisors no, or even go against what they say because they might be faced with retaliation. And I think because you know that firsthand, I think you're probably one of the best people to speak out against it and to figure out ways to fix it in the long run. I do want to even mention, I mean, you talked about sort of the policies that are, even on the higher levels where they're trying to discuss how these policies are or what they should be, etc. I think I read an article about like Patrick Moran, AFSCME Council 3 president. Mm-hmm. He actually in the article blamed Brandon Scott's administration. He was saying that the issues are because of them, and they're holding things up and it's their fault, etc., etc. Being as though you're now president, right? What do you think about first his stance, but secondly, how do you perceive how those issues are at the top? What do you think about those issues?
This the part I don't understand, because before I decided to be president, just look at it. Anybody done follow how I'm able to develop these good working relationships with these same people they supposed to be working with, and I wasn't the president. So imagine the possibility of me being the president now. It's different. For some reason, it's like it's a change being made, and they not getting it, because I believe firmly that God is like really setting you on a path that where as though it is a must change, because we got so much going on the outside that people not paying attention to. And I'm just basically trying to show my people that regardless of the opposition and the things we facing, that we need to start taking control of things. And it's just one way of showing. Because this is a seat that holds some type of power. Because if it didn't, these people wouldn't carry the way they do. Like, I know that I recognize that. I don't know what it hold, but I'm not going to utilize it to my own benefit. I'm telling y'all now, I'm going to use it fully for the members And the day I start moving different from that, anybody can call me out on it. Everybody can go come back to this and say, oh yeah, on this date where you lied. No, I'm honestly speaking from a deep in heart. I feel this in my heart when I speak. I get real passionate about this, like emotionally to the point. It just make me dig more, to find more information to make sure everybody protected. Because I'm not being given it, to be honest with you. So oh man, like it's a surreal feeling. Like people don't understand how passionate. And I hope I didn't go away from the question even, Mike.
No. You answered.
I know sometimes I kind of caught the last end of but the first part I ain't really.
Yeah, but that tells me that you're ever thinking about these issues. So
right.
When you hear like a small part of an issue, you're already thinking about other things that are connected. So I get why you transition a bit, you tangent a little.
People don't understand the significance of it, because just imagine as a worker, because I used to be a worker, this is what we was facing. If you get in trouble, you facing human resource, the administration, and the union.
Yeah.
How's that fair to you? In the midst of the election, the man that ran up against me threw 2 people. So that's what people want to be their representative, because he talking about numbers, he talking about money and stuff. And that's how you know people not passionate and people don't have an understanding of what's going on, because everybody chasing some numbers. I haven't heard nobody say what's the language in the contract. Like, what else coming on with these numbers? Everybody, oh yeah, we ready to get a raise. What else in there? You just can't get me with that.
Exactly.
No, I'm not that type. No, you can't get me with that. I need to know what else y'all agreed on. Like, just stop talking about money and raises, because that's gonna come along with the territory. That's why we got a union to make sure that we have a good pay and everything like that. And I'm not good. I might hit up the numbers, but if anybody go in there and do the numbers, you'll see exactly how much we're getting a raise for. Like, it's kind of good, but it's really not nothing, because in 3 years, people will be right back to the same point, talking about they're not making enough. Because just think about it. I've been here for over 10 years, and they got people coming here making $20. Listen to me, $20. You know how much I make right now?
It was 21 the last time we spoke.
Yeah, I make close to $22. I'm still ain't.
$22,
I still don't make nothing. So how you think I feel? I've been here 10 years. Somebody gets to come in and make 20.
In the first day, $20. Yeah.
Like $20. Like.
Yeah.
So it's like a Jedi mind trick, because if you really think about it, they say 19%, and you multiply that by your base value, what you got? Your raise.
Exactly.
Over 3 years.
Over 3 years. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, by the time we get to the third year, everybody gonna complain like cost of living went up, this went up, this went up. The way Donald Trump, the way he going, people better ask for more. Me personally, we need more than 20%, because we don't know what's ready to be taken away from us.
100%.
Like, he's trying to kill unions off right now.
Right now.
That's why it's so important for us to speak up. That's why I started speaking, because I know the significance of this. You need to have powerful voice inside the union, because we got bigger fights outside this. We got to utilize the people and teach them how to be informative and advocates for themselves. So what me and my team are doing is, as we going out to people, as we helping them, we teach them how to advocate for themselves. That's our first line of defense. And whatever they can't make it through, don't have to understand it, that's what we here for. We here to go through them steps together. But our whole objective is going to be, see how many situations we can resolve before they even meet the first step. That's our whole agenda, because I believe that there's too many intelligent people involved, too many good heart people involved, to see that it don't go that direction. Because if everybody got that same passion, even the mayor, it's like more so like a challenge to everybody. They don't want to see how passionate you really are. It's one of them feelings, like, how passionate are you? Because as the president, I kind of understand where the mayor is at right now. Because under me, I got people I need to trust in order to make sure my job is successful. But at the same time, even though you're putting your trust in their hands, you still got to apply some type of pressure yourself. And I believe what Brandon Scott also with me being the president and me talking to him like face to face about the thing we face, get him to be more engaged because he has been engaging and people still ask him to be engaging. That's why so many people are mad at him because we don't want him to be engaging just for some camera publicity. No, one day wake up and say, I'm gonna go check the yard out. Without nobody saying nothing. Just a little bit of people around you. I'm gonna go check the yard out. I don't want the news and all that stuff. No, I want a person to go check the yard out because what's gonna happen is people gonna see him come up. Oh, there go the mayor. The first thing you're gonna look for is cameras. They see you without cameras, you're gonna be receptive more. And that's what people don't understand. Like certain people at certain levels, and when you into like the photo op chasing cameras, you gotta take a different approach now. Show the people you care without the cameras. Because the word gonna spread, hey, the mayor came up here today, he ain't even had no cameras, but he really showing that he's trying his way. Or the governor. Or the deputy mayor. I don't care who it is, what position, the city councilman. Stop planning these meetings. Stop planning to go to yours. Like, pop up. Why you can't pop up? Why you can't pop up? Because that's my intentions, and that's what I'm going to do. So, I just hope that I'm not crossing lines. I'm going to find out before I start doing this stuff, but my plan is to make my face seen anywhere I know where a local 44 member is at, so they can know I'm real. I don't want them to just be looking at no news and say, oh, that's our new president. No, every member gonna get to see me face to face. Every member. It's probably gonna take a little minute, but I promise you, that's my objective.
Yeah, and I think you bring up such an incredible point. Like, I'd seen a video recently on Instagram. I think, shout out to Little Black, friend of the show. I've interviewed him before. It's one of my brothers. One of my brothers.
And back funny.
But he had reposted a video of older gentleman who was recording Brandon Scott and Governor Westmore walking through Park Heights.
I feel the same way that I feel.
The old guy, he had some pretty harsh criticisms. He was effectively saying that
just by yourself. But look what you got walking with y'all. All of this. All of this. How much money y'all spending for this? Photo ops.
Step to the side from me.
Don't touch me. Look at that. Photo ops. 2 little girls walking Park Heights. 2 little girls walking Park Heights now. This is photo op. Photo op. Look at her. Look at her. 5-year-old girl got shot in the hand. But y'all didn't come up here then. But now this is photo op because Trump said something.
Look what you're doing. It's a photo op. Now that Donald Trump has said something about the city of Baltimore and or even Maryland as a state, now you want to sort of jump into action when just before he made his comments, there was a little girl who got shot. And no one was there. No one cared. And I feel him, like the guy who was speaking. I feel him because I really do believe that, you know, it's about what you're doing in private, right? It's not about the work you do in public in front of a camera. It's similar to doing community service, right? Like if you give a homeless person who is in need some money, cool, that's a great service. But when you pull your phone out to show Instagram or show social media or it's Facebook or whatever, then that becomes something that you're doing for yourself and it's no longer for them, right? And that should be sort of what everyone's mind should be on, is helping the constituents, helping the people of the city, helping those who are in need, and helping those who are in the DPW who have been screaming these issues for years. Some people have been there for 40 years and haven't seen any changes, right? And I feel for them. And similar to how that man felt in that video, that's why I'm so invested in this story, and especially when you're speaking about it, because you really are, you know, talking about those people from the heart, the people who have been screaming for help. And, you know, so I 100% agree. I think, you know, it's really about what you do in private, right? You don't need the cameras. You just need to really just show up.
Actions speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder than words.
Because I didn't, not once I seen that video, the mayor and the governor asking somebody in the community questions. You feel me? But no, what they did do, if you go on some people's Instagram pages, they was taking photos Like I said, it's about a photo op, and like, I'm not a photo op tripper. I like photos. I ain't gonna lie, I take pictures. But I'm not I'm not a photo op type person because a lot of things I've done never been recorded. I just was about action, and I'm just tired of people saying they passionate about people. They gonna do this and do that, and like you said, that's a prime example of how politicians hold certain positions. And you wait, and like think it's just like embarrassing. You wait the down truck to say something, and y'all two wanna walk through the hood. No, the way it's supposed to work is as the mayor. As soon as you got that call, that little girl got shot in her hand. You sort of made it your business to be present and had something to say about that, because most people don't like. It's like the man not really getting the credit he think he getting. A lot of it is like how that man was speaking today. I know a whole bunch of men that feel the same way. They just ain't get an opportunity to say it. There's too many of them, and like he has the opportunity to change that, but guess what he keep doing? I don't know who handled him, but he runs away from stuff. I didn't face more serious situation as a regular person dealing with the members of DPW than the man had. He's on. And he been invited to numerous things and never showed. And so it's like I don't believe that we need people like that in a position. That's why I said that we need more men, like our real strong men that like wake up and understand that these seats are available. The seats are available.
Yeah.
They not their seats. The reason people hold on to seats is they never had nobody to threaten them for the seats. So the more we enlighten each other and take a different path instead of turning each other down, imagine how many seats we can get.
Yes, sir.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, and I speak from an open heart, because I never met none of these men personally, but I learned a lot from Marcus Garvey, Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X. And people don't understand those three men like my real life heroes. It's just that my environment turned me into something else at an early age. But I done read a lot of literature and things about them over time. Not just doing this. I'm talking about since I was a kid, when I was first introduced to them by my uncle. So it's like, what people see in me, it goes so deep that people understand that there's something in me that's being carried on because I didn't develop a taste for a way those men used to move when it comes to something like this. It's just that as time went on, I was grasping that information. I never know I was gonna had to use it now. So I'm not, that's why I keep telling people, I'm not a politician. I'm a man that's gonna stand firm. I respect the politician policies and the way things move, but what I would not do is belittle myself as a man. I will break a rule first before I would let a man break me. And that's the truth. And most of these rules, if you go look at them, they're not substantial enough to even make sure a person is protected. So that's what I mean by the president. I got a big challenge here because there's some things I want to overview and look at and see if there's a way we can change it. A lot of people don't know it's not even a bill that really protect essential workers for the city. Why nobody not working on that? And that's where as though everybody covered across the board. If something happened, it's a bill in place, meaning that you had to file it. And that's what people don't understand. We focus on all the wrong things. We focus on Trump coming here, but as though we out like our house not clean. I can honestly say that, like working in this workforce and the way people being treated, our house not clean. Like it's like a triple effect because it's people that lost their jobs here. Imagine the fact that they got kids, which push the kids into the street to do crazy stuff because they don't got no other way to survive. So when I bring this back to like it's a community thing also, people don't understand like those kids gonna need a job one day. Guess we're gonna have to come at to the city. Guess we're gonna have to protect them, the union. So it's like it's a community thing. This not just about me. It's not just about my team. It's about us. It's like a black and brown community. That's what people don't understand. Like, cause we the only ones being affected by hardship and everything in division. When is we gonna get together? I'm talking about seriously as a black and brown community, cause we the only ones being hurt. We the only ones being hurt. Like we don't have enough voices. I heard I heard more tough guys and outspoken women in bedrooms and in living rooms and stuff that have in the open. And what I mean is, not in a disrespect way, when people gonna really let their voice be heard and not be afraid. Because it's always been a dream of mine to have at least 150 men stand behind me solid on the same page I'm on, speaking the same way I'm speaking. That's one of the most scariest things they ever want to see. And there's people actually doing this right now, like the Tennis family. My bro, shout out to the Tennis family. I salute them. I salute them like another they grassroots. They didn't follow about what they found their way and they made their purpose be known. So like that's what I mean by like building an army of truth. Cause that's what he built around is an army of truth. Like even with the Nation of Islam, there's a number of brothers with truth around. They out to help people. So it's like so many people I just go down the line and just think because there must be some type of structure. Each one of the men that leads each of those entities had a dream, and one day having people follow behind them and speaking the same volume of words they speak. So that's really my dream. I don't know if it's going to stop as president with something in the future because I never stop moving. I learn as I go. I establish myself, and then I next chapter.
I mean, if you ask me, I definitely know that you'll get at least 300-400 people behind you, you know, and it's not just because of the situation. The situation itself, does bring a lot of people's emotion, because like you said, their family members work there. Their grandfather still probably, works in DPW, or their aunt works there, or their brother works there, or sister. And they care about their conditions as well. They care about them having a good, honest working living and being, paid for the work that they do, even though they work way harder than they're paid, right? So I think just the message alone could get those. But in addition to that, I think, like you said, you're a man who stands on morals and principles, and you're a man who, is like truly a man standing on business, right? And I think that alone is enough to get at least 200 other men, because like I've seen so many times on my show, like I've seen so many times just talking to people around the city, like there are some really great substantial men and really strong black women who are willing to really fight back against these powers who are trying to keep them suppressed and keep them oppressed, right? And I think, if you were to ask me, you're going to get that mobilization. You're going to get that critical mass of people who really do believe in the things that you're speaking of, because it's the truth. You haven't lied yet, and when you lead with the truth, you always get people to follow you. And I do want to bring up some names because, we talked about just these people in different positions, and we talked about, people who are helping, who have standing the gap. There are people who haven't quite helped yet. And, I want to know, as president, like, I'm just going to name some names. Have any of these people reached out to you so far? So the director, Khalil Zayed.
Absolutely, what I was going to say about this, if you ever get to sit down and talk to him, have an interview with him, and this to him talking stuff, he no different than us. Same upbringing, different circumstances, way worse than ours. But the thing that blows you away is he very understanding once you show him what he needs to understand. Because once you bring something to his attention, he doesn't ignore it. So like I don't know how nobody else dealt with him, but I know for a fact that Mr. Khalil personally has his hand in over like 50 situations that I brought to his attention. And when I say situations don't make it past like first step and all that, like through him, he look at the situation, see how it's bad on their behalf, he corrects it. Like, and people don't understand like how much that's a blessing, because I've been here over 10 years. I ain't never seen a director do what he was doing. Like, man, they wouldn't even answer the phone, text.
Right.
He run around talking about who the director. Like, so it's not like I always tell people, it's not something I did. This is a collective thing. Because Mr. Khalil could have easily said, I don't gotta do nothing you talking about. I gotta be engaging. He could have easily did that. That man sat down to himself, and something in his conscience told him, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be moving forward with this man, because he's not lying. He want people to care about them. And that's what he started doing. So that's a very good feeling for us. Because there's men and women that trust him. And you say Mr. Khalil name, like, yeah, I call Mr. Khalil. Like, people still use his name, and he really don't have nothing to do with operation. Like, because he's a deputy mayor now, so he stepped up some. But guess what he still do? He still reach back and make sure we okay. That's serious. That's why people don't understand, like, the relationship me and him has gained. It's like, wow. Like, it's very respectful. We don't lie to each other. We really conduct each other like we men. So it's like, that's my guy, man. Like, he Mr. Khalil cool. I tell him, I stamp him. You know what I mean? Like, Mr. Khalil cool.
Stamp, for sure.
Yeah, because I want to say this short story about him. So
sure, yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Mike. We gonna talk today, but he came to my birthday party, right?
Oh, really?
So what happened was my best friend said he never had no loafers before, and Mr. Khalil had his loafers on. So him and my best friend switched shoes. So my best friend gave him some fresh pair of Air Maxes for his loafer, and he was drinking, we was having fun. Yeah. And they switched shoes, took a picture together. Like I was like, oh my God, like wow. Like, but Mr. Khalil was so humble about it. Me and him went on lunch just this weekend, and them Air Maxes on. He said he been wearing them. He said every time I home again, he said, man, he don't know he gave me the most comfortable tennis shoes in the world. And I'm like, man, and my homeboy, he wearing his loafers. I was like, oh yeah, this is too funny, man.
That's hilarious.
But he a real good person once people get to know him. Like I want the city to know what I was being. If it is some bad light being projected on him, I'm quite sure if you go have a conversation with him, he'll clarify it, and he will always be reachable after that point. Because once you got a gripe towards him, he a type person. He don't want people to have gripes over him. Like he all about helping the people.
Yeah, and for sure. I also want to bring up just two more names. Because when you look on the DPW's sort of organizational chart, because it's public record.
Right.
And this is kind of our due diligence, right? Like people who are like, even if we're not in DPW, you should know.
Do your thing. I don't care who it is.
More of a note for people watching, like everybody who is, because people complain all the time, right? Like if you're not in a DPW, I'm saying like people will say like, oh, their conditions are bad, like things are horrible.
Right.
But you should know who's in charge of these positions, right? So you can know who to hold accountable. And like you said, those seats aren't theirs. So if you think that there's an issue and you know who's in charge and you don't hold them accountable, you're complicit in this issue.
Right.
So I want to bring up two other names. One is a chief equity officer, LaToya Curtis, who you brought up earlier, as well as the acting bureau head for solid waste, which is Kendall Abu Hakim. I want to know, have they reached out to, or have they, reached out to at least collaborate in some way to start making some things right?
So just imagine this. So I'm gonna show you the difference in me and the past union, because there's no communication between them and administration for one time to us. It's like a division. Oh, we don't supposed to do certain things with them. So actually, the week before I got sworn in, me, Zeke Cohen's, I forget the other councilwoman name. I'm so sorry because I just met her, so I don't remember her name.
Sure.
But I'm gonna get her name.
We'll put it in the video.
Yeah. Mr. Khalil, Mr. LaToya Curtis, Mr. Kendall, all of them came out. We went to Neiman Avenue and walked around to see how the development was going on as far as the new buildings and stuff like that. And so actually, they gave us a tour and showed us how the new buildings work and how like they use these as models to use in every yard. They have existing conditions with the buildings. They're gonna be using these shipping, like they real nice. I'm talking about real nice. I've been in them. They got showers in there. Women got showers, men got showers. Like it's like up state of the art. Like it's up to date. Anybody complain about that, I don't know what to tell them, because I've rooted it myself. They allowed for us to walk around. This before I was sworn as the president. I was doing this. So Ms. LaToya, I really gotta give all high praise, because she been a major piece into the solid waste side of making change. If it wasn't for her, a lot of things might have. Me and her done had numerous conversations like Mr. Khalil. We can collaborate on different issues. I bring it to her attention, and then at the same time as I bring it to her attention, She allowed me to be opinionated about it. What my opinion, what do they feel I should do? So when I say people understand it's a difference now, because too many people in the union can say they got this type of relationship where though they can call people and change it. It's always the people, the connections they use to keep the members down. They're not saving the members. They're not calling people to keep the members lifted up like, oh, this person has a situation, they're making it to this. That's how simple it is with Tory Curtis, to the fact that if there's a situation that don't want what's going on, she's going to nip it in the bud. Period. And I can humbly say that she's going to nip it in the bud. She's very passionate on this. Even though, and that's what I mean about titles. People so caught up in titles, they the administration, you the union, y'all shouldn't be. They titles. We are people. This is people that we talking about. We're not talking about no cows and no chickens. You feel me? This is not livestock. This is real live people that care and wake up every day, and we treating people like they livestock. You see what I'm saying? No, that's not what I'm gonna do. Regardless of a person's title, I want to have enough respect for them to where as though we can maintain a relationship that's cool. That even if we decide one day, let's go and have something to eat, and nobody not looking our face talking about, oh, I can't believe the administration and the union sitting together. Especially when you're doing things out of pureness and you being, once again, transparent. Because we being transparent, people won't question us. And that's what I mean, like, is people know somebody died. People know somebody died out in the water plant treatment years ago. That people forgot they don't speak out on much. And the men still out there going through the same issues. Still unsafety and things like that. So that's what I mean about accountability and everything like that. People not holding each other accountable. There's no transparency because that lady died years ago, but nobody don't talk about it no more, because guess what? The transparency went away. It's not a hot story no more. She was a hot story for a moment, and that's sad for anybody that had knowledge of that to even let that go like that, because after that, it's so many changes made through the union. The union's supposed to push for change. And then when 2 more people died, and one matter of fact, after her, we had somebody named Savoy passed away in solid waste. The union wasn't involved with that and pushing that for change. Then 2 more people died, Bird and Caldwell, in the same year. The union still ain't push for change, and that's what I mean about it's no accountability, it's no transparency, it's always a disaster, then boom, it's fixed. It's not showing no in between, like how can we fix it together? And the reason there's no transparency because there's a lot of cover up. A lot of things cover up. That's why you're never going to receive transparency, because they quick to cover something up instead of facing and dealing with it. They will make somebody a scapegoat quick.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, this absolutely won't be the last time we speak. You already know that.
Yeah, you know, bro.
Because I think, like I told you, the first time I ever met you at City of Gods, big shout out City of Gods, by the way. And this first time we ever sat down, I never changed how I felt. Like, I think this is such an important story. Right. And I think, just like we talked about, Martin Luther King and, the march for the sanitation workers, like back in the 60s, these moments are so important, and we cannot forget them. We cannot forget those names you're discussing. We cannot forget these conditions that people work through. We cannot forget that there are lives attached to these jobs, So I think this is such an important story, and everyone who hasn't already tapped in and learned more about it, read articles, follow, Stancil on his Instagram, because he talks about these things at length all the time. Right. You do not stop the message, because the message is important. Right.
Right. It's very important because, like I tell people all the time, and I done said it to city councilmen and all them, it shouldn't be a good feeling to know about all these situations and you know about for years and you still don't want to make change. Yeah. That speaks volume. That basically speaking your character. That's like, in the black community, if a man not taking care of his child, he's a deadbeat. Period. Nobody ain't gonna name nothing else, nothing less, nothing more. Oh yeah, deadbeat. Don't mess with him. He don't take care of his kids. So why we can't have this feeling about the members? Because there's so many people going through things to where as though, I'm honestly speaking, if nobody don't want to listen, I'm going to set a platform for people to listen to them. Yeah. Because they had the right to speak. We not striking, but I tell you what they do. They got a right to speak. Freedom of speech is called. Yeah. Actually, it's called freedom of speech. So I am looking forward to having a town hall meeting, and like I'm gonna send out some advice to even local officials, because people need to hear people's voices, hear their stories. But I want to be in the way where though at least each person get at least 5 to 6 minutes to tell a little bit about their story, because these the voices been in the news all this time, and I'm gonna be the person who's gonna put it on the platform so y'all can hear it to show you how deep this go. Because that's why I want to leave the past right there. I'd rather other people speak on it, because so many people's opinion about this is ridiculous, and it's like they turn me into the disgruntled worker right now. So anytime I speak on stuff, it's like, oh, he just still mad. Like, what is I mad for? I got elected. What I'm not going to tolerate is anybody doing me any kind of way, because I don't know everything about this. But I know enough that know that they not doing their job right.
100%. Bless you. Bless you 2 times.
Thank you.
100%. And that's exactly why I know they elected you, because you're going to hold them accountable, and you're not going to let things go, and you're not going to cover things up. You're going to be as transparent as you've always been.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish you so much luck in this, because I know it's going to be a hard fight. I know it's going to be, you know, a lot of resistance to you joining and, you know, making changes. And just know that you have, like I said, this critical mass of people, and it's building every single day.
Yeah, I know it is. And once again, before I get off here, I really want to thank you, bro, because you the first person that believed in me and helped my message get out there in a different perspective, that people can really sit back and analyze it and bounce their ideas off of it. Like, I even do it at times, like, because sometimes I go back and look at it and I be like, wow. And like, but that's all thank you, because it opened a lot of people's eyes, because I really had people that DM me like, bro, I remember the documentary y'all did. Like, this is like, you still keeping the same message. So it's like, anything I do, it all collide together. It's like, nothing's phone. I kept the same message the whole time. That's why I don't understand why nobody have an issue with me and upset. If I'm keeping a solid message about helping people and putting people in a position where as though they not hurt. That's why I just don't understand. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you for, letting me be able to tell the story, you know, because, man, yeah, this is not the last time we're going to sit down, and best believe,
right,
we got a lot more work to do.
All right. Hopefully you be my host for the town hall meeting.
Oh, man, I'm there, man. Come on.
Yeah, you can be the host, because I know you're going to ask the right question. Like, you're going to know what to ask people.
I'm not letting anybody get away with anything.
Yeah. No, but Mike, it's so funny. I really got so many people want to speak their truth now.
Yeah.
That's a different, not even, I went around my way, and it was a good feeling, because just imagine you going in the hood. Where you from?
Yeah.
The same block you've been hanging on since you was a kid.
Right.
And you got men that you look up to, walk up to you and say, bro, I'm proud of you. I look up to you now. That's one of the most best feelings in the world.
Yeah.
And that's not gluten and boasting, but where we come from, that's a major accomplishment when you got the man that you looked up for over 40 years tell you to your face that they look up to you now, and you looking like, dang,
wow.
Like what?
Yeah.
So like that, all it did was, it gave me more faith. It didn't give me like something to brag about. It gave me more faith. Like, wow, I'm changing mindsets, because some of these same people didn't think I was gonna make it to C16. I went to prison. Some people say, oh, he ain't gonna make it out of there. I'm still here, you know. That's why I'm trying to tell people with this. This is small compared to anything I'm facing in life. I guarantee you that this is small. So I appreciate everybody that supported me and did all, like, give me motivation. Just know the fight ain't over. We just beginning. So this chapter 1. That's it.
Man, one more time, introduce yourself and, let them know where they can follow you.
Yeah, my name is Stancil McNair. So that's Stancil McNair, and you can follow that on Facebook. But on Instagram, it's only_ones back. So that's the number 1 with an S, BACK. So that's only_1S back. That's the best place to reach me is social media. Like, I would give people my number, but once I get an official number, I'm gonna send it to y'all. And I don't have no website yet. I'm sorry. Like, I'm really grassroots. Like, I do a lot of stuff. I like to focus on one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want too many things. I gotta be checking messages. I'm gonna get lost. I'm gonna forget somebody.
Man, my God, man. Thank you so much, man. And we gonna talk soon.
All right, thanks, Mike.
My God.
All right.